In my first meeting, we spent 23 seconds approving a £2.5 million rebuild and 45 minutes approving a £10 kettle. I stand here today as a full-time student, and it was as a full-time student that I first entered my student union.
First memories, I think first memories will be he needed a haircut. And the funniest moment, you're going to now ask me what the funniest moment was actually when he had his hair cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
My first memories of Ed were at a Nussel convention, unsurprisingly, which later turned into his domain, where he was, networking around with other people. In fact, in many respects, he taught me everything that I know. No, that's a lie. I taught him everything he knows about networking, which is probably why he didn't win.
The first time I saw him and met him was my very first lecture. He bounded down the stairs 3 at a time to the front. He kind of knew all the lecturers, so it was a bit suspicious then. And then started talking and goes, right, I'm a politics student, I'm president of the student union, it's different to the university, and we make them do stuff. And everyone just went, no one knew what student union was. So that's the first time I met Ed.
Didn't clap?
I think one person clapped, Danny Martin. And I know Chris Marks was in the same lecture, he clapped.
Chris Marks clapped to Ed.
Yeah.
Very well, very good. Oh, there we go. There's a bit of political history right there. Very good. And then
Okay, when I first met Ed, I think the thing that I thought was, why is this person trying to be a northern version of Dave Lewis?
One of my earliest memories of Ed is us two sat outside a hotel in Wolverhampton scheming about what we can do the next day. And throughout the time that I've known Ed, it's always seemed to be us two trying to do things, either trying to stop things happening or trying to enact things to make them possible. Whether that's discussing our handover at Nussel in the jacuzzi at Shrigley Hall, or whether that's us at Wolverhampton trying to work out how we could take down the motion the next day.
Literally, I have no memory of meeting Ed. I don't even remember him when he was on the block. He just sort of manifested himself as VPUD, and that's it really.
And he just appeared from somewhere.
Funniest memory of Ed Marsh. I suspect most of my kind of funniest memories with Ed were up in Macclesfield. Back in the day when he took over as chair of NUS Services, and I was also on the board, and he just had a fantastic way of chairing meetings, but most importantly, putting senior staff like Matt and Peter in their place when he needed to. Just a fantastic sense of humour, and we would always enjoy those meetings.
Pretending to have an injured back, so he used to get out of playing cricket.
but that was quite a regular thing, wasn't it? He used to do that for years. He's kept that up for years.
Yeah. He keeps saying that all the time. Yeah, so that was quite funny. It still is.
Funniest memory was probably conference last year, and Ed and Aaron were talking in the nightclub, and me and John Chambers were behind them, and we started doing the Aaron Ed Jamie dance, which is Aaron Porter, Ed, and Jamie Scudamore. Because you all talk like that.
Oh, the omelettes, yeah. The crazy idea when Ed, on Sunday night of National Conference, I know, no one's ever done this before, let's try this. No one's ever tried to write letters to people at NUS Conference instead of leaflets. And we were all like, yeah, sounds great. And Ed had this idea that we were going to be able to stuff 2,500 letters in orange envelopes by the next Monday to hand them out ready for people to arrive on Tuesday. And of course that definitely happened when me and Josh Rowlands went to Staples and said, have you got 5,000 envelopes? Or 2,000, everybody was. And they said, no, we've got 6. Six orange envelopes, so we had to backtrack, and I think Ed's trying to get rid of some envelopes if anybody needs anything else.
Very good president, because he had to deal with quite a few problems. He had a difficult sabbatical team to work with, and he coped with it extremely well.
Ed Marsh has the characteristics that all of us would want to see in a great leader. Rhetoric, communication, particularly with his emails, and mainly organisation. Because if you could sum up Ed in one word, it would be the most organised man in the world, just with lots of hyphens between all of those words.
He seems quite self-deprecating. He always stood at the back of photos, so everyone thought Jay Webster was present for a while.
Yeah. And if you could describe him in 3 words, what would you?
A shrewd political operator.
Kind, genuine, and probably the kindest way to put it is energetic.
Inspiring, crazy.
Yeah.
The unorganised stuff's been done, so probably mad. I think he's just genuinely mad.
I'd take John up on his offer of setting up a consultancy while he tries the teaching thing. He's so proud of his dad being a teacher, so I think he needs to do it, and I think he'll be fantastic at it.
And if he decides to become a teacher, do you think he'd be good at that?
Well, if he wants to continue in politics, sorting out the country will be a damn sight more difficult than sorting out HUU.
Seriously, you know, Ed was always a really great guy, fantastic with officers from all sorts of different students' unions, and in many ways someone that I really looked up to, but really most importantly enjoyed working with.
The guy's an arse.
Haircut, a suit, like trying to get him in a suit, in a shirt was difficult.
He probably won't take some of the compliments very well, and I think that's quite a good thing actually. But Ed is somebody who I've actually always looked up to. He's talented, he's capable, he's got a vision, he's able to articulate things that no one else can, and I do believe that he is far, far beyond anyone in his peer group. It's been an absolute pleasure to know Ed over the last 4 or 5 years. I believe that he will go on and achieve incredible things during his life. I think the time that he's had at NUS will be a time that he'll remember and reflect on very fondly, and I hope that he understands and appreciates just what a considerable impact he's had on me.
There are very few student officers who simultaneously have got their eye on where the bus is going and can keep people on it, and he is one of the few student officers in the past decade that's excellent at that.
My advice for the future is the same as for the present, which is read your emails. Please, God, read your emails.
Well, advice for Ed in the future is ARP Consultancy is a growing business, and we're always looking for top talent, even you, Ed. So, I mean, I'm not sure that the £750 a day daily rate, we can start you on that. We'll start on a reduced rate. Let's make sure I've got my cut. I mean, these suits don't come cheap, so we can start you off on a 50% day rate and see how you go on. You know you want to work for me, Ed.
And in the future, I hope that Ed really does go out and get a job, because he's got rent and bills to pay, and more importantly, if he doesn't pay those rent and bills, I'll have to. So yeah, get a job, mate. Like, look for him. Thanks.
Pleasure with you, mate. Hope you've enjoyed your 2 years, and thanks very much for making sure I was still the best dressed VPUD going. So enjoy yourself, mate. It's been legendary, I'm sure. Hope you've enjoyed it, and when I lose, have a booze.
For somebody that claims they're working class and a man of the people, somebody that keeps their double-barrel surname hidden, what's that about? Maybe it was to try and get on in student unions, maybe it was to try and get on in the Labour Party, who knows what it was about. But it's time that you finally own up, Edward, and tell people your true name and make sure they all know about it.
Jamie asked me to do a video saying goodbye, but I don't think goodbyes, mainly because they suck. So it's probably see you later. But one of my favourite memories, well, not so favourite memory, more irritating memory, will be National Conference, writing your election speech at 6:30 in the morning, and you thought it was hilarious that you cracked jokes. That's still not funny 2 years on, but I am glad that I helped you learn, because you were a really good Vice President of Union Development. Not as good as me, but you know, things happen. So all the best for the future, and I'll see you soon.
Ed, you've been an absolute pleasure to work with. You were even a pleasure to run against. You are absolutely a visionary character that would have been an amazing president for NUS, but equally will be transformational in whatever role you go on to do. I hope we stay in touch for a long time. I look forward to working for you one day. Best of luck for your future, and stay in touch.
you remember being on that finance committee meeting that he always talks about every speech and every conference?
Which one's that?
The kettle.
The one with the kettle and the one with the refurb. So they took 10 seconds to.
Oh no, yes, oh yeah. I didn't realise he was in that. No, it was 2.4 million I think went through within 10 seconds, and it took half an hour to spend £10 on a kettle. It was.
So it was true. You're the only person that can verify that story is true.
There was a moment at National Conference this year where Ed touched me. Touched me in there.
Sorry, that's not going to...
Really ask for a better friend.
I want to see young people inspired by each other, learning new things, challenging conventional thinking and trying to change the world. Ed Marsh, Hull University Union and the NEC.